and this song got me through the toughest times of my life. I'm crying inside, but I'm filled with pride, and I won't let them see no tears in my eyes. See, I'm mad at this world. It can be so unfair, the judgment, the jealousy, but still I'm not scared. 'Cause I'm focused, determined, and I'm ready to win. And the critics I see, they doubt me again. But darkness is gone, and I'm ready to shine. 'Cause right now it's victory time.
Yes.
I am a Polytechnic High School alumni. I am a full-time college student at one of the best music schools on the West Coast, studying music business and entertainment law, interning for a record company and a publishing company. And I work full-time. But before I reached all this, before I had all this, before I was here, myself now, it wasn't always like that. I had a cousin, and her mother killed herself, and her father fell into depression, because depression runs in my family. It is genetic. It's real. There's a difference between being sad and being depressed. Because when you're depressed about nothing, about being alive, that's a scarier feeling. She was 16, and she was the older sister I never had. And she fell into depression, number 11. And she put the gun in her mouth in the bathroom where I brushed my teeth, and she pulled that trigger. And I lost my sister. 10 years later, I was 16. Sophomore year at Poly. Straight A's. Hung out with the cool crowd. Knew everybody. Teachers loved me. Went to the parties. Bought my own car. Saved up. And I woke up. I looked in the mirror, and I was so mad. I was so mad with what I saw in the mirror. I woke up, and I heard the alarm, and I was mad to hear the alarm. I was pissed to live another day. To a point where nobody understood. And when I tried to voice it, people turned their back on me, or they judged me. And then I had the support of my family, of my teachers, and of my very few friends. And when people judge you over something you can't control, over something you can't help but feel, you start to judge yourself. You start to loathe and despise yourself more. I took cigarettes, I took incense, and I held it at my skin for minutes. I took razors, I took kitchen knives, and I would cut and cut and cut. I just wanted all that emotional pain, all the hate I had for myself in here, to be focused on here. Here, on here. And when I asked my parents for help, they saw right away that it was the depression in our family. Too many people, actually every single person who was diagnosed is now 6 feet under, besides me. Brought me to therapy, I went through all sorts of medications. They alerted my teachers had my back to the fullest. And yet, with everyone's support, I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to live. I didn't want to breathe. I didn't want to stand here. I didn't want to be in class. I hated it. And every day I just told my mom, I said, Mom, I don't want to be here. I just want to be with my sister. I don't want to be here. It was what I said every single day. And just like her, when she was home alone and she pulled that trigger, I went home. I took a bottle, empty water bottle, I mixed it up with bleach, Windex, Clorox, Xanax, Adderall, everything I could find, and I chugged that bottle down. My mom came home with my baby brother, my little brother, and she found me and my 3-page suicide note. And in that note, I said, Mom, I love you. Dad, I love you. All my friends, I love you. And please don't be mad at me and understand that I love you. And that the reason why I'm doing this is because the pain that I have is stronger than all my love for you. I'm sorry, and please forgive me. The whole neighborhood told me they heard my mom screech. My little brother thought he lost his sister, just like when I lost mine. 3 days I was in the hospital. They pumped it all out, force-fed me cold. And after those 3 days, the first person I saw was my baby brother. And I told myself, okay, I survived. I guess I get another chance. And I was ready to go home. But little did I know that when you attempt suicide, when you think about it, try it, anything, and you act upon those actions, you're called a 5150. And I went straight to the mental hospital for a week. 7 days. 7 days, my roommate was a schizophrenic. She'd wake me up in the middle of the night and say there's blood on the ceiling, blood on the walls, and blood on the floor. I didn't see it, and I thought I was going crazy. There was a boy, 15, and I was 16, and he had a mark right around his neck from the rope burn when he tried to hang himself. Suicide is not a joke. And to those of you who think this is funny, the door's right there. Right there. Oh, it's not serious because it's not you. It's not your sister. It's not your brother. It's not your dad. Is it? So, in the mental hospital, as soon as I got out, I had bars on my nose, they took my clothes, they take your shoelaces, you know, and I met an 11-year-old girl who had a demon best friend and yelled at me for sitting in an empty seat next to her because that's where her demon best friend sits. And she was serious. I met an old woman with a lobotomy. For those of you who doesn't know what that is, she tried to hang herself and it suffocated a portion of her brain and they had to take that portion out. She's 42. 42. For the rest of her life, she's in that hospital. I got out. And when I got out, I made a pledge. I pledged to save a life. But before I could save a life, I had to save mine. I, Jerjan, pledged. Johnny pledged. Ashton pledged. Christian pledged. All these links right here represents every single one of your lives. If you end it, break that link. You really want to do that? As I stand up here, as I tell my story 3 years in a row, it breaks me to come to the school where I pour my soul out to see my little cousin, who I have an older sister she never had. She's my baby sister. Tell me yesterday, just yesterday, that the exact same problems I had in high school, she's facing. And she told me yesterday, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. The exact same words I said. I don't want to do it. And I told her, don't you dare. Don't you dare. We've had 11 successful suicides. I've attempted number 12, and you are not going to be successful 13. You're not. I have your back. Yale Ribbon has your back. And everyone here, no matter what their feelings are about you or your feelings about them, never hate. And that's what I'm going to teach you. Never hate. Love yourself. It'll trump all of it. I'm a survivor, and you all are a survivor, believe it or not. Every day you survive this world. Every night when you go home, you triumph. I'm not done with my story. I'm still writing it. So are you.